arriving tomorrow.
Bridget arriving tomorrow.
Blessed be Bridget arriving tomorrow.
Bridget arriving tomorrow.
Blessed be Bridget arriving tomorrow.
Bridget arriving tomorrow.
Does anybody know who Roy is? Blessed be Roy wherever he is. Blessed be Roy wherever he is. Jaya, Amma, Amma Jaya Jaya.
Jaya Jaya Amma, Amma Jaya Jaya.
Jaya, Amma, Amma Jaya Jaya.
Jaya Jaya Amma, Amma Jaya Jaya.
Jaya, Jaya. Roy Coffin. He is here, right?
He's here, coughing at the little storm downstairs.
I hope he's all right. So, in the beginning of October is the feast day of St. Francis of Assisi. So in preparation for that, I'm starting to read a little book by Leonardo Boff. And I think the title of it is simply Francis. And it's a very good book. I'll be sharing bits along the way with you. But I thought tonight we would just begin to reflect upon St. Francis Assisi and anything that we might remember about him. I like to do this kind of thing because it reminds me of what people must have done after he died. You know, gathered together to remember. And, so what do we remember about this Francesco?
Started out as a rich young playboy.
Mm-hmm. What happened to that rich young playboy?
Came off to the Crusades.
Yeah, tried to be a soldier for a while, and tried to make it in the family business, very successful
Yeah.
cloth business. But something happened to him. What happened to him that he left that rich young playboy life?
He got sick or something.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He got
they-
sick.
Transforming experience of some kind.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember if it was while he was sick or when he was just getting better. He visited his dad's factory and saw the conditions and the way people were living, and just knew that wasn't right.
Mhm. So he was affected by human suffering.
Mm-hmm.
Yet he writes that at first he was abhorred by people who were sick. He couldn't touch people who were sick, especially lepers. And he always regretted that. He reminded himself of that throughout his life because something happened in his life that changed that in a radical way. So what else do we remember about Francis?
He said no.
Or
He said no.
you said no. Yeah, he did. He would be a good one at that conference coming
Yeah.
up in the garden. What's the title of that conference?
Follow the systems gathering.
The Fall of the Systems
Yeah,
Gathering?
yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what he did back around the year 1200. He stood up and said no to the systems. Yeah. And what happened when he said no was incredible. A movement, you could call it, a gathering, first of a few, and he started to rebuild the local church, San Damiano building. But then it became very clear to him that his purpose, his calling was bigger than that. So he began to welcome people in and around that church, but in the woods, in the forest, in the fields, and little by little, hundreds and then thousands formed. It must have been some gathering, because they left their lifestyle, they left their way of being in the world to begin something new.
like the asceticism, like the way that he lived was so starkly different than the
Yeah.
grandeur of the church, and I think
Yeah.
he introduced or reintroduced that idea
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
to be godly is to actually to be humble and
Yeah. Humble and poor. Yeah. His wardrobe was very limited. And he would often walk in bare feet, with a ragged tunic, begging for alms. And his community, of course, they started doing that too. Needless to say, they weren't always well received. Because some of the folks in the town knew Francis when he was rich. And I could hear them saying, "Get a job," I mean, do something with your life. You can't just beg all the time. But he did do something with his life. It wasn't exactly what the burgeoning pre-capitalistic mind was calling for, but he began to take care of lepers. He began little by little to form a community. And he liked to sing, and he liked to write songs. And so he would often be singing as he walked through the streets of Assisi, wherever he was. And the strange thing about him was that even though he didn't have enough to eat at times, and didn't have, what we would consider proper clothing to wear, he maintained this quiet, kind of jovial spirit that was baffling to people. They couldn't figure out what was going on with this guy. They thought he was crazy. But his kind of craziness apparently was very attractive. I mean, so much so that hundreds and then thousands basically followed him in this way of life. Anything else you remember about animals? Right, exactly. Do you remember any stories about the animals?
I don't. I would say it's a bird. Wolves.
Wolf, yeah, that's my wolf impersonation. That are a lonely beagle. But yeah, there's a great story about the wolf of, I think it's Gubbio. It's a good story to look up. I wouldn't begin to try and tell it, but apparently the wolf in the local area was doing what wolves do, attacking livestock and such. So Francis went and had a little talk with the wolf, and the wolf became his pal.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a sweet story. Anything else you remember about him?
Well, there was Claire, his maybe soul friend, prayer partner.
Yeah, Claire joined the movement, and eventually Claire founded her own community, the Poor Clares. Yeah,
He liked beauty.
he liked beauty. He was a poet. Yeah. And he really loved nature, the beauty of this world. How would you describe his spirit, his soul? I know that's a hard question maybe, but what would you say? Qualities.
Peace.
Peaceful,
Deep compassion.
deep compassion.
I get a sense it was they were jovial though, they were not, there was always a joy in his seriousness.
Grateful.
Grateful, right. Who was he in love with?
She's in love with God.
love with God, and specifically for him in his language, he would say it this way, that he was in love with Lady Poverty, he was in love with the poor, he was in love with the poor Christ. There was something in his soul and his spirit that brought the two, the poor, we're talking about the literal poor, destitute, and the poor Christ were one in his mind. And he just wanted to be, that was his purpose, you could say, to be united to the poor, to be with the poor, to be the poor, actually. And in doing so, he would say, I found Christ, the poor Christ. Because as we know, the Christian church very quickly, in the early centuries even, began to identify with the system, with the empire, with power, with wealth. And Francis, around the year 1200, was very aware of that. And so he said no to empire, systems, power, greed, cruelty. And he said yes to the poor. And in order to say yes to the poor, he did more than what most churches do. Most churches put something in their budget, right, to give to the poor. Francis became poor. There's a huge difference. He became one of the poor and experienced the poor Christ in that. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. So I just want to share a little bit tonight about that, and we'll read bits of his own writings in the days ahead. And if anybody wants to, on your own, get into it, I don't know where the volumes are at the moment, but there's 2 fat volumes.
Oh, yeah, I know it now.
I think they're right over there. Of writings from his community, some of his sayings, his stories of the earliest community. They're really beautiful. So there's 2 volumes. I think they're orangish reddish color. You can find them over there. So rather than on a feast day just remembering somebody for a day, I think Francis deserves a whole month. So we'll spend some time with the poverello, the little poor man. We'll close with a song. So this little song is attributed to Francis. And actually you can find it in your book. We often hear the words brother, sun, sister, moon. That's the language of Francis. All of the world was a brother or sister to him. Called Canticle of the Sun. What page is it on? 28. Okay, thank you. So he composed the words. Sometime we'll have to sing or speak all the words. This is only a paraphrase of the refrain, but the words are very specific. All praise to you, O God, through brother sun, who warms the day. All praise to you, O God, through sister moon, who illuminates the night. And it's very poetic, and he goes on and on and on through all the different features of the natural world that he remembered. And then the story goes that there was a war about to happen, and so he composed a little verse that he would sing to the leaders of the warring parties. And he had his community bring him into the town square on a pallet, because he was so sick, He died when he was about 46, I believe, and his community had to carry him because he couldn't walk. So he was so ill. And so they carried him into the town square, and they're the leaders of the opposing forces, and he sings to them. Can you imagine that? And he sings the Canticle of the Sun, and includes the verse, all praise to you through those who forgive. And I'm sure he eyeballed all the leaders as he sang it. And they gave up, laid down their weapons that day, the story says. Must have been a lovely moment. So we'll sing this little refrain, and gives us opportunity to speak any praise we wish to speak. Oh, praise to you. Oh, praise to you. All praise to you, Lord God. Through all you have made. Oh, praise to you. Oh, praise to you. All praise to you, Lord God. Through all you have made. All praise to you this night, for the stars above, the moon so bright. All praise, all praise to you. All praise to you. All praise to you, Lord God. Through all you have made. Oh, for what else can we give thanks and praise?
All praise to you for the wonder of nature, millions of forms all interacting with much beauty.
All praise to you. All praise to you. All praise to you, Lord God. Through all you have made. Praise to you through doctors who are compassionate and competent. All praise. All praise to you. All praise to you. All praise to you, Lord God. Through all you have made. Praise to you this night for a good night's rest, sweet dreams. All praise to you. All praise to you. All praise is in this world. Help us to remind ourselves to remember and to cherish all that you give to us. May it be so.